the corrupt Department of Education. Our next guest, a high school senior, writing an op-ed in the Washington Examiner saying, quote, "My generation is done with being guinea pigs for liberal experiments. We want practical skills, coding, trades, real history, not pronouns and propaganda." Trump gets that, and with this promise, he fired up 46% of 18 to 29-year-olds in November, up 10% from 2020. Joining us now for more is RNC Youth Advisory Council Chairman Brilyn Hollyhand and Turning Point USA contributor Morgan McMichael. It's great to have you both on. Brilyn, so you're currently a high school senior. You went to public school. Will you miss the Department of Education once it's gone?
Not in the slightest, Rob. This is a big win for Gen Z, and this is huge news for the next generation of Americans. Rob, I feel very confidently that the reason that President Trump is sitting in the Oval Office this evening is because Gen Z elected him. And President Trump is paying Gen Z back by saying, listen, we are going to help you out. We are not only going to protect the education going on right now, protecting the education for the next generation. Listen, what I'm looking at right now is a bloated bureaucracy that is failing the next generation of Americans. Let's break it down for you. The Department of Education has been around since 1980. They're wasting billions of dollars, $80 billion last year alone, Rob. And what are we getting in return? Test scores are tanking. Kids can't read at grade level. And we have this one-size-fits-all mess that's more about woke agendas than real learning. They're not teaching us real things that are going to help us in the real world. Instead, they're teaching us DEI instead of ABCs. But thankfully, that is no longer.
Good point. Morgan, so look, I'm a little bit older than you guys. I'm in my early 40s. I don't think that AOC is cool or Jasmine Crockett or Ilhan Omar or Ayanna Pressley. I do think that J.D. Vance is cool. I think that Tim Burchett's cool. I think Pete Hegseth is cool. Does Gen Z feel the same way?
I absolutely believe that Gen Z feels the same way. I mean, you look when Charlie Kirk hits a campus, he is gathering crowds of thousands of college kids that are hungry for the truth. And I think that's really why Gen Z won this election, is because they're sick and tired of the DEI that's being shoved down their throats on college campuses. And then when they're actually told the truth, you know, I have friends that are seniors in college right now that are forced to take social science classes about LGBTQ and critical race theory in public colleges. That is what's happening in the reality in our campuses. And so as soon as you actually tell the truth, you'd be surprised how many Gen Zers would flip the coin and realize that conservative values are really what is in their favor. And, you know, when you're looking at these figureheads like on TikTok and things, I think we need to see more of J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth utilizing social media to talk to Gen Zers, because that is where they are, and they love to see the content that is authentic to them and what is actually happening within our government right now.
I don't know. And, you know, obviously I'm a little biased. You know, I work at Newsmax. I'm a conservative guy, but like, I think Will Scharf is cool. He's the guy that hands Trump the little leather-bound thing when Trump's about to sign an executive order. I like the way he does it. I just think Democrats have never been this lame. Brilyn, for my entire life, it's been cooler to be a Democrat. That's just a fact. It's been cooler. Has that changed right now, and do you think that's more than temporary, especially with your generation, ages 18 to 29?
It 100% has changed, Rob, and it is historic, record-breaking news. Listen, I spoke on a college campus last night, and when I was done, students didn't come up to talk to me about that Signal group chat or share Doge complaints. But every single college student last night was singing the praises of President Trump and his administration for accomplishing more in 50 days than any other president has done in 500. I mean, it is a true fact that President Trump performed CPR on the American dream, and he brought it back to life. So on behalf of Gen Z, just a thank you to President Trump. Because in 2 months, the American dream was once again attainable. Homes are more affordable. Egg prices are dropping, Rob. Illegals being deported. Inflation's going down, and jobs are being created. That's why President Trump was elected by Gen Z as a promises made, promises kept president. For far too long, as you mentioned, Gen Z and older generations have voted for the Democrats and gotten empty promises time and time again. We're not seeing that this time with J.D. Vance and Donald Trump.
Brilyn, so you spoke at a college, and you're not in college yet. Are you going to college next fall?
I am, yes, sir. I'm excited to be studying political science in the fall, and I'll be attending a university, and I'm looking forward to it. But I was, again, the youngest person in the room last night, which is crazy. We go to D.C., and I'm the youngest person in the room with a bunch of old gray-haired people. And I went last night, I was at a campus, and was still the youngest person in the room. I know it. Morgan, quick one, about 15 seconds. Donald Trump polling right now. This is the highest a Republican's ever been with your generation, the youngest voting generation. He's at 53%. Do those numbers hold over the next 4 years?
Absolutely. This is historic growth for Gen Z in the conservative direction. And I think that us young people need to continue to post content and speak to the generation to maintain this growth. You know, I think we need to continue talking to young men and showing how the conservative movement is really what is going to uplift them for the future generations to come. And you know what? This is historic. This may be Gen Z to be the most conservative generation yet. And I think it is possible to achieve that as long as we keep pushing the envelope.
I mean, the whole reason we do this segment is because if you're right, Morgan, if you're right, a Democrat will not win the White House for a long time. We've never seen this before. It's really exciting for conservatives in the MAGA movement. Brilyn Hollyhand, Morgan McMichael, have a great weekend. Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob. Enjoy your weekend.
You too. All right, coming up, the final night of